Let's see the leg.
G'day, it's Simon here. You got me on my morning walk, Monday morning. Looks like it's going to be a great week. And on today's episode of iJumpTV, we've got, well, I don't know if I've told you, but we have had a lot of backlog. So we got one of those backlogs today. We got a guy called James Stewart, and why I mentioned that he's a backlog is it's kind of out of date, but then it's kind of not. It's out of date in that what James was doing in August when we talked to him in Christchurch is not what he's doing today, but what is permanently not out of date is the advice that he gives on how to achieve a lot of buzz for your internet project, whatever that is. So his internet project, well, I'll let him tell you what it is some pretty exciting stuff. And it'll answer a question that a lot of people come to us with, you know, how do I get coverage for what I'm doing? So, you know, partly listen to what he says, but partly just also observe the passion and the way that he communicates what he's talking about. He's also with Aidan Rogers, who helped James with some of the technical knowledge required to actually get messages across. Aidan's an SEO specialist in Christchurch. His business is called Encoder. So yeah, we got two people for the price of one, which was free. No, it was great to have a conversation with these guys, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed interviewing it. See you after.
Hi, this is Simon from iJump. We're in Christchurch, which is a really cool city, and we are with some really cool people, Aidan Rogers and James Stewart. And tell us, guys, where you're from.
Yeah, we're based down here in Christchurch. We've spent the last 20 months developing ArtClick, which is a New Zealand website for artists to profile and sell their artwork on. Awesome. And we sort of ran out of money to promote it, so we had the idea to do the $1 Million Leg project, which is tattooing New Zealand artwork from ArtClick members onto my leg.
Let's see the leg.
First tattoo.
Make sure we get the sound.
Oh, my little fairy! So this is done by Kim Losby, and this is just the outline. It's just 40 square centimetres, so that's 20 grand worth, but probably about halfway there for sponsors. Yeah. And I just talked to Escape Campers, and they're going to sponsor me, hopefully, pretty much, definitely a van around the North Island for a month, leaving next week. So nice. Just getting like some cool people on board, and then building. I talked to Natco, and they're thinking about developing the $1 Million League website, which we have like flash, click on the tattoo and it pops out the sponsors and has the logos of all the people involved, and they can edit it and stuff like that. So cool. Just promoting New Zealand art to the world pretty much. It's been getting lots of international coverage, so awesome. Yeah.
We heard you guys talk about how you've been using social media. Just tell us the story of how that started.
Yeah, so it's just pretty much, we thought, how can we get people interested? I thought James had a good idea, you know, he wants to really help New Zealand struggling artists, and there's a lot of talent out there, and we thought, you know, how can we quickly spread the message, and social media is very effective at that. So yeah, I just sort of bounce some ideas off James and tell him, give him some ideas, and he goes out and does it, and it's working very well so far.
I think video is probably the most effective thing. Like I had a friend Dan that just whipped up one for me for the first project, and then it got into stuff.co.nz, so then everyone saw that, and then I sort of went through all the radio stations, and then you're doing interviews, and then Godin.co.uk picked it up, and then Forbes.com, and then BBC Radio did an interview, and it's going all through like Poland and Russia and stuff. So if you have something that's crazy enough, like sort of like guerrilla marketing and viral marketing, so guerrilla and viral is sort of the same thing, but something crazy enough to get press, then you're doing it for a good cause and it's not self-focused, then you know it's going to be more successful than just trying to push your company out there and just try and get people, because they'll know that you're not genuine. So we just genuinely want to help New Zealand artists promote their art and sell their art, and so we sort of thought, oh, why not tattoo New Zealand artwork on my legs and try and raise $1 million?
I mean, you say it like it was an obvious idea. How did the tattoo thing come up?
I don't know, I've got lots of tats. I've got my own tattoo gun. So I've got like 10 smiley faces on my bum from all my different mates. It's like a thing we do. Like if I see one of my old mates that's been away overseas, I'm like, dude, you know, right here. So there's 10 of them there, and I've spent $3.5 grand on New Zealand artwork. So it's like kawas and Purakawa, and like New Zealand falcon with a fantail and all that. So pretty complex. So it's just a cool way to. Yeah, yeah. This took 37 hours and $3,500. So yeah, heaps of pain.
Do you have like a high pain threshold, or?
I think I was trying to be like tough about it and be like, I'm not going to take Pandols and stuff. But once I got through like sort of 25 hours worth, I sort of proved my point that I could handle it. Like I was sitting there for 4 hours just. And it's, it's colour doesn't make a difference if it's colour or black, but it's just that it's so fine that he's constantly drilling over the same area and just getting all those details in there, and you're just like, I'm gonna honestly, when I was thinking, I'm like, I will say to people, yes, it hurts, because it does, especially up around here, on the bones and stuff. Yeah, but it's sort of based on the $1 million homepage concept, like Alex Chu, who's sold 1 million pixels for $1 million, and I was just sort of half asleep, and I was like, can I do that? Could get in the press, and how can I make some money? I really need. I've got no income, and the bank's calling me, and I was like, tattoo New Zealand art on my legs, and I was like, that'd be cool. And I was like, oh, I could like make companies pay, like sponsor it, and they could get promoted on the website. And I was like, oh yeah. I told Aiden, he was like, yeah, I think that'd work, and we sort of like did a press release, and it just went mental. And like,
what would be like your top 5 tips for somebody who's got a message and they need to get it out there fast to a lot of people?
Facebook, if you don't have Facebook already, create a Facebook profile, but you probably should have one already, because then you'd have like at least a couple of hundred, or at least 100 friends, and then start a Facebook group for that idea, as long as it's cool enough that people will join, and then encourage all those people to invite their friends to join. I think that's probably one of the most effective ways that people hear about stuff, is by creating groups and then creating events from those groups. So like, to say what you guys did for the flash mob, like, I get my messages, I got a message from Facebook, I've got a message on Facebook, oh, it's an Auckland flash mob thing, damn, I live in Christchurch, but I would have gone to that if I lived here, and like, for parties and exhibitions, I hear about them down here and I go to them because of that. So that's probably the most effective free marketing thing I can think of. Next thing is YouTube. It's really, I find that real effective, just because people can see who you are by seeing a video. They can sit at in their own little home office, whatever, and see someone talking in real time, and they sort of can get a sense of knowing you and what your company's about or what your pitch is about, but keep it under 2 minutes unless it's an interview like this. Twitter's pretty cool, just if you've got a good network on there, then that's how we met you guys, is through Twitter. So and it's free and it's fun, and you can keep up to date with each other. I don't know about pushing ideas, but Skype's definitely, like, that's how I can communicate with the guy in Poland that did a post about $1 Million Leg. I translated it to English, and then I did a post on it in English and Polish, just translate it through Babelfish, and then he emailed me, said, have you got Skype? I'm like, yeah. So then we talked till like 2:30 a.m. last night on Skype, like, and he's got 5 startups, and he's going to get me on the Polish Digg, and the other thing would probably be Stumbleupon, like Stumble or Digg. Like, Digg's pretty bit of a, Aiden knows more about it than me. He said, if I got on the front page of Digg, they'd probably rip into me and say, oh, this guy's a dick.
They can be a bit cynical.
They're a bit cynical, but probably like Stumbleupon and stuff like that. If you can get to the front page of that, then things go mental.
I'll say my top.
Yes. Yeah, because he knows way more about me.
I'd just like to say, is have an idea that people will talk about.
Yeah,
so that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think networking is very important. Have people where you can pass it on to. So, and if it's good content, they'll want to pass it on. It'll promote itself.
Yeah.
So I think you really sort of got to think about its quality, really. Like humour or controversy. I mean, what James is doing was quite controversial.
Yes.
So therefore, it spreads.
Yeah, the old idea virus by Seth Godin.
Yes.
Yeah, so I read half of it.
Well.
Yeah. Something people talk about because it's so different.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks very much, guys.
No worries.
All the best for the $1 Million League and for ArtClick.
So that was James Stewart, formerly from Christchurch. Now he's based in Wellington, working for madefromnewzealand.com and doing an awesome job. But yeah, there's some great advice in there. We would love to hear your feedback, and we're also going to be putting some more detail on our social media learning centre on iJump. So watch out for that soon. The way to keep in touch with us is just head over to iJump.co.nz/subscribe. We would love to also hear from you, what you're saying. So just flick me an email, simon@iJump.co.nz. Okay, catch you later.